Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying good health. This is Mubarak Ali Khan from GSL. With me, I have an old friend, Mr. Frank. We are at GSL I8 branch, and this is launching ceremony of our book, IELTS Academic, IELTS General, and IELTS UKBI. I'll be an examiner in this video, and I would be giving you first-hand knowledge and a mock of band 7 or above. And Mr. Frank would be an examinee today.
The test subject?
Yes, and today basically we will be giving you an idea that how exactly do you have to perform in your real IELTS test. So without any further ado, I would like to start. My name is Mubarak Ali Khan. This test is conducted at GSL I8 branch. My examiner number is 74744. Your candidate number is 32323. I would like to see your ID proof, maybe an ID card or a passport through which you booked your test.
Here is the document.
Right. Okay. This test is recorded, and you may want to ask anything during the test. I don't mind that, but make sure that you try answering the questions on full length. It's going to be for next 11 to 14 minutes. In part 1, I would like to have 3 to 4 phrase answers. In part 2, it's going to be a cue card round. You would be getting a cue card for a minute. You prepare on that. You may want to make your notes if you want to. And then in part 3, I would like to have a discussion based round in that you're supposed to give opinion on given topics. So should we start?
Please.
Okay. So are you a student or do you work now?
I'm currently fully employed. A full-time employee, basically.
Okay. So why did you choose the job you're doing?
I believe I chose it because I have faith in my communication skills and my ability to connect with people at both professional and personal level.
Okay.
And that kind of prompted me to choose the profession.
Fine. So talk about your daily routine of the job.
Well, basically, the moment I show up at my office, I have to deal with a lot of documentation based on communication activities, internal and external communication. It also involves me and my department to connect with other organizations outside and bridge different gaps that we have in the corporate sector.
Okay. So is there anything about your job you would like to change?
I believe sometimes dealing with a lot of people becomes a bit of a hassle.
Okay.
So having a routine where it's somewhat contained would really help me focus on the objectives that we have, that we come across on short-term and long-term basis. So if there was something that I would like to change, that would be it.
Great. I would like to move to some other part that is about films.
Right.
So how often do you go to the cinema?
I don't have a certain timeline once again, but perhaps once a month.
Okay. So what type of films do you like the best?
I'm more into historical drama.
Okay.
I prefer these films over any other.
Right. So what type of films don't you like?
Horror.
Okay.
Horror genre is one of my least favorites, primarily because of the jump scares that are involved.
Right.
I'm not particularly a big fan of such moments.
Okay. This is the end of part 1. Moving on towards part 2 now.
Right.
It says describe an important event in your life. You have a minute to think about it. You may make your notes if you want to, and then you would be speaking on that for next 2 minutes. Your timer has just been started. All right, you now have 2 minutes to speak on your IELTS speaking part 2. Your timer has just been started.
Right, so the topic asks for an important event in my life. I would like to highlight one of the journeys that I undertook almost a year ago towards northern Pakistan to attend a polo match, basically. And it was a wild adventure, in my opinion, because I left out of nowhere. I had no plans. Suddenly, I realized that I wanted to go there. So I took my motorcycle, I packed my bag and just left for the destination. And it took me about 3 to 4 days to reach the place, and it was a complete adventure. I didn't take anyone with me, but on the way I made some friends and we had a really good time together. They were also motorcyclists, and they wanted to enjoy the festivity over there. It was in the middle of nowhere. Getting there was a great challenge. I went through a lot of a few accidents. Met a lot of interesting people, shared different sorts of meals, with people. Got to socialize with some different kind of people from different places, nationally and internationally. And I believe overall it was a great experience. After 2 or 3 days, we reached the venue and enjoyed the polo match, between two rival teams. And we stayed there for a good 6 or 8 hours. And once we were done, we moved back, and we moved back as a group. And on the way back, once again, we changed our, the path, basically. On the way back, we came back from a different direction. And it was once again, more fun, interacting with different people, staying at different places, and overall it was a fun-filled package.
All right, I got my idea. Thank you very much. Moving on towards part 3 now. So, what days are important in your country?
I believe the national holidays, they are considered to be really important, and then some religious holidays throughout the year, they are considered to be extremely important or of great significance.
Okay. Why it is important to have national celebrations?
I believe to keep the national spirit, or the spirit of unison, alive among the nation or among the people who consider themselves to be citizens of a certain country. It's important to celebrate national days so that everyone connects with each other in a communal spirit.
Okay, so how is the way your national celebrations are celebrated now different from the way they were celebrated in the past?
I believe back in the day it used to be a bit more spiritual. The connection between the thought, the idea, and celebration was more than just the face value. Today it's a little different because times have changed. People don't have a lot of time. People don't celebrate as much, but whenever they do, it's more about the face value. It's very superficial. So that connection, the ideological connection with the celebrations, they are missing to a certain extent.
Okay. Do you think any new national celebrations will come into being in the future?
Perhaps there is a big possibility, because you never know. A nation goes through various phases, so if there is something worth celebrating or something of great significance, it could be or might be celebrated in future. So yeah, there is always a chance, to perhaps build upon, the celebrations that we already have based on the significance of a certain event.
Great. My last question from you. Are there any celebrations from other countries that you celebrate in your own country?
I believe there are certain celebrations, but they do not fall under national celebrations that are celebrated here in this country. For instance, Halloween. It's a sort of a pseudo-religious festival that is celebrated here in Pakistan as well. Courtesy of the global village phenomenon, people now celebrate various other celebrations or certain events from other cultures or other geographical locations almost everywhere in the world.
All right, that is the end of your spoken test. Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much for patient hearing. And if you are preparing for all this, if you're in the center, most welcome. You can talk and you can take our mocks anytime. Or if you got the book we have launched already, so these videos are for you. Consider subscribing for more such related content. God bless you and God bless Pakistan. Bye-bye.